Hello everybody, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am sharing the decks that I worked with this past week and the decks I'm going to be working with next week. So if you are here to hear my thoughts on the previous week and so forth, then please stay tuned. These are sort of like mini reviews. These are reviews after I've worked with decks solidly for a week. So I work with one tarot deck and one oracle deck pretty solidly for the week unless I'm called to work with another for a client. And so, yeah, let's jump right into it. I think I might mean it this time. So this past week, I have been working with the Everyday Witch Tarot. And this is a deck that I've worked with a bunch before, so this is not new to me at all. I can't get over how, let's see if I can get these up closer. Yeah, there we go. I can't get over how easy this deck is to work with and to read with. I find the imagery really clear. I always mix up. I wonder if they're next to each other. No, they're not. I always mix up this card, the Hierophant card, with the Temperance card because they both look like yoga teachers to me, but of course I'm looking at this through the lens of being a yoga teacher. But I just love every single card in this deck. I have no beefs. It's super cute, but it's got, like I said, it's very, very clear and easy to read. It's as simple for me to pick up and read with as any good, like, Rider-Waite clone. But some of the imagery is just done so well. And I did a couple different client readings with this deck this week. They went really smoothly. I felt no hiccups. I had no problem getting really unique, intuitive hits off of the cards. I love this Five of Cups. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I'm still getting used to like how to see. Sorry, 2 seconds. There we go. I'm like, I've got my camera here and then my preview over here, and it's weird for me to get used to. But anyways, and it's funny because I actually picked up a Llewellyn coloring book a while ago, and it turns out that a whole bunch, yeah, see, there's the other yoga teacher card. It turns out that a whole lot of the images in it are actually from this art. And I have to tell you that Elisabeth Alba, the artist of this deck, is currently doing the artwork for a Everyday Witch Oracle, and I am watching that Instagram account so closely. Some of the card images that she's shown already, oh, I can't wait to have an Oracle deck to go along with this one. It's going to be amazing. Because that's the one thing I will say is that I struggled to find a good oracle that I feel like the artwork kind of lines up with this. Now I did though for my oracle deck, so sorry, before I segue, really happy with this. Zero complaints. It will remain a deck in my primary rotation. Yeah, I feel like the imagery is really accessible and clear. Yeah, all good. No negative feedback. This is a deck that I have edged previously in a blue that matches the backings. You can kind of see it there. Yeah, it's not a reversible backing, but I don't read tarot typically with reversals, so that doesn't really bother me. It is a little like somebody cut out images and sort of pasted them. I wouldn't have minded something a little bit more elegant on the background, but I do think they're cute. So I'm fine with that. And I have like a Witchy on Broomsticks bags that I keep it in. Bag, not bags. So that was really fun to work with this week. And almost a little sad to be putting it away, but I'll get it out again as I'm called to do. So that's going away. And then the Oracle deck I have been working with this week is the Earthly Souls and Spirits Oracle by Terri Foss. These cards are gigantic. Let's see, I'll pull them up right up to the camera. There we go. I did end up rounding the corners on this deck. They were really pokey and sharp. And it felt a lot more like a real deck once I had done that. Something about them being in like sharp corners made it feel almost like just a stack of art cards. And it's still got a bit of that feel. The keywords to me, like for example, this is one of the ones that I really kind of struggled with. The keyword on this is goddess, but this looks almost like it should have a different keyword, like sisters or family or connection, or I don't know. Some of the keywords don't really jive with the artwork for me. And so I did really struggle with pulling this, say, for daily pulls. But I did use this deck in a couple of client readings and in some readings with my sister, and I felt like I got some good intuitive hits off of it, but it wasn't quite as expansive to read with as I had hoped. That said, this artwork is absolutely stunning, and I have zero regrets that I was rotating some of this artwork on my tarot altar all week because I really enjoyed that. It's really beautiful. I also edged this deck in a really deep black, as I do with many decks, and that just made them look really nice. Oh, that's the little title card. And these are the backings. They're all the moon phases, which I really enjoy. And this was actually, this photograph, the background, the backings were done by Terri's daughter, Sarah Foss Robinson. And then Terri Foss did the fronts. And if I could ever find a smaller, like oracle-sized version of this deck, I think I would really enjoy that. I am really happy I have this. I enjoyed it a lot this week. It just wasn't as easy of a reader as I was sort of hoping that it would be. But I really enjoy it, and beautiful artwork. No complaints that way. It is big and a little bit unwieldy, but over time, like, it started to get easier to overhand shuffle. So I started to be able to do that pretty well. So that was the oracle deck that I worked with this week. So the reading cloth, I'm not going to be changing this because I'm probably going to use this all of October. The reading cloth I've been working with this week is this one. Oh, it's sideways. There we go. Is it now upside down? Totally. Okay. There we go. I can do it. And this is just the funnest fabric. It's like, oh, my camera froze. There we go. It's like witchy and cool. And then the backing is this really cool, oh, it's freezing again. I think my camera's working too hard. Let's see if it unfreezes for me. Hello, camera. Hello. There it goes. Okay. Anyways, that's the backing. It's funny that my camera freezes sometimes and sometimes not when I'm filming. I don't know what the deal is. Eventually I'll figure it out, I'm sure. So I'm going to keep working with that same reading cloth. I'm not going to change it out. But the deck I'm going to be working with this week, which I'm probably going to chop up, is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. So this was my impulse purchase when my sister was in town. And this actually comes, this is a later version. This is a Llewellyn deck, right? Yeah, this is a later version. It used to come in one of those flimsy Llewellyn boxes, and now it comes with one with the magnetic closure. I am, of course, going to put it in a bag. This is by Maggie Stiefvater. Stiefvater, I think is how you pronounce it. This is the guidebook. It is 184 pages. I don't know if there are any spread. Oh, there are a couple spreads in here. So there's a 10-card reading spread in here that looks a little bit like, sort of like a Celtic cross. There's a 3-card reading. Is that it? That's it. And then we get into the images of the cards and the definitions. Meanings? Definitions. It's not a dictionary, Lisa. Jeez. Anyways, the backings of this deck are very plain. Now, the one hesitation I have, I will say about trimming it, because holy cow, those borders are giant. The one hesitation I have about trimming it is that the imagery is different enough that I'm not going to want to take off the bottoms. I'm only going to want to take off the sides and the top. Now, I've seen some pictures of people who have done that and some videos, and they look fine, but I know that the backing, that means that on the back there will be this orange line at the bottom, and there may not be on the sides, so I don't know how that's going to go. Thankfully, though, I watched in Kelly Fitzgerald, the Truth and Stories video, when she showed this deck trimmed. She showed how you should trim it by looking at the fronts, because the backs aren't going to be even if you use the back border to trim it. So I always look at the fronts, and I always trim by hand with scissors, so it'll probably be just fine. And I've had multiple people, I love this Lover's card, I've had multiple people suggest that I edge this deck in orange, so I will most likely do that this week. So I'm probably going to get out the scissors today or tomorrow and get to work chopping this one up. So I'm excited for that. A lot of this imagery is different. Let's see if I can figure out a different way to hold this. There we go. A lot of this imagery is really different for me. I really like this death card. Let's see. Love Temperance. Love the Devil. Tower. Love the Star. Love the Moon. So I was watching, I can't remember which walkthrough I was watching, and somebody said that what's neat about this image of the moon is that there's the illusion that the raven here has the moon in its beak, but obviously that's perspective, and that's just the way it looks, which totally speaks to the moon and things not necessarily being exactly as they seem. So that was kind of cool. Like the world and this idea that maybe we feel like we're at the end, but we're also at the beginning of a new cycle. Anyways, apparently I'm going to go through the whole deck, and that's not what this video is about, but this is the deck I'm going to be working with this week. So I'm excited to get to know it a little bit better. So that is going to be fun. Plus, I always find it nice to bond with a new deck by doing things like trimming it and edging it. So just doing that should give me some time to absorb the artwork. And I have already picked out a bag from Peggy's stash for this. And it is this lovely orange bag. And it's got this black cord. And I believe the inside is also black. So that's like perfect, right? All the orange. So I'm pretty happy about that. I was trying to think of a good oracle deck that would go along with it. And with all that raven energy, I just felt like what would go really, really nicely with it is the mystical shaman oracle. So this is a beautiful deck, and I really want to take the time to get a little bit more comfortable with reading with it. It's got that really nice matte, smooth cardstock. Really, really pretty artwork. I'm not as familiar with all of the symbols, so I do. Oh, see, I made a good decision. This just proves it. I do really. So they're still a little sticking together. I do really want to get to know it a little bit better. I do find sometimes that these oracle decks that have just the title but without any keywords are sometimes a little tricky if it's not a symbol that I'm as familiar with. So yeah, the Time Master. And I think my screen just froze again. I think I probably could work with this deck. There we go. I think I could probably work with this deck intuitively, and I'm probably not giving myself enough credit. That's one of the reasons why I like to work with the deck exclusively for a full week, because I get the opportunity to play with it a number of ways. I usually loop it into client readings, or I loop it into readings for friends or family or myself, as well as drawing daily cards. The artwork in this is so, look at this sorry, I totally cut myself off. Look at this completion card. I think a good many of these, if I just got a little more familiar with the symbols, I think a good many of these I could probably read intuitively just fine. I mean, the artwork is so beautiful. And the fact that it's borderless, I just love. But some of these things, like the ghost dance, I think I have an idea of what that is, but I would need to look. Same thing whenever there's animal energy. I feel like I want to know more about the animal. This is what I really find appealing about the recent walkthroughs I've seen of the Spirit of the Animals Oracle and the Spirit Animal Oracle. So one of those is a Colette Baron-Reid deck, and the other one is by a different artist. I'll be talking about it sometime soon, if it's not on a video already. But both of those decks are on my wish list, and both do a good job of having the animal pictured, but also I think I'm back full circle now pretty much, but also have some keywords underneath, which I really like, because if I have something to kind of quickly nudge my memory about what that particular animal's energies are all about, it's really helpful to me when I'm reading intuitively. I love the box. I love the box that this comes in. I love these two-part boxes, which, oh, that's the lid, which have become more the norm. This was a really kind of an expensive Hay House deck, but very worth it for the quality that we got. And I kind of think, actually, now that I'm looking at it, I probably want to edge the deck, but I don't know what color. Maybe like a rich brown, or maybe browns and greens, or something that kind of pulls in, or maybe even this turquoise. Nah, it's probably too bright. I don't know. If you have any opinions about what I should edge this deck in, definitely let me know. Maybe even a gold edging. I have some ink pads now, and I want to do a video on edging some decks with the ink pads. So maybe I'll do this one in gold. I don't know. If you have opinions, hit me up with your opinions so that I know. So I have some feedback. And then the guidebook that comes with this is really nice. And one of the things I like about the guidebook is that it has, for each card, it has 3 sections. It has the essence. Oh, wrong side. It has the essence. it has the invitation, and then it has the medicine. So it has sort of the overall meaning of the card, and then it has sort of an upright and reversed, or a positive or light and shadow side. And I really enjoy that. So I believe this is one of the decks that I will probably work with both upright and reversed meanings, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I kind of go deck by deck, and I only really work with reversals in Oracle decks that have a sort of a clear upright and reversed sort of meaning that I want to work with, especially if I'm using it for daily draws. So we'll see how this works out and how these two decks play together this week, and I will let you all know in next week's video. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye!